Good morning. Drink your coffee.
Welcome to our new podcast, Fighting Duality. Fighting Duality.
Step out of the darkness into the light.
I'm talking about the dog.
I know the world is round.
World brain, didn't we?
Never gets old. Never gets old.
Right. I'm actually working on a new one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. If I can get this stupid laptop to work right, yeah, we'll have us a new intro, new outro, and maybe I'll make something kind of Christmassy.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sleigh bells slaying.
right? So I hear we got some more subscribers.
We do. We're up to 30 subscribers now.
Good deal. So, I know you've got a great plan for this episode.
I do.
And we got a guest guest. But before we get started, so I have a wandering thought. My stupid science that I do. Now this one it's going to seem kind of simple, but the wondering thought I had after seeing the sign was, no shit, really? I mean, that's all there is to it. So I was out shopping for some coffee today, and I was going to try a new coffee. And I'm sitting there looking at all these different brands, all these different boxes. And for whatever reason, everything it said was contains coffee. No shit. Really? I mean, I just feel like there's a waste of money there.
Man.
I mean, you're shopping for coffee. You say that it comes in the K pods. That's fine for Keurig, or even just the ground up beans or whatever. But no shit. I know it's coffee. I'm not.
You have to put labels on everything for everything anymore.
Now I do get it. If you had that bag of powdered bobcat piss there, you would want it to say not coffee, but powdered bobcat piss.
You could add it to your coffee if you're that kind of fucked up, but
I might add a little twang to it.
Little kick, a little spice.
Right? So there's my wandering thought and my stupid sign for the day, because I just felt that it was just and it's not necessarily a if it says don't, somebody did, but it's still dumb.
That's kind of like Tide Pods. It used to say on the warning label, do not ingest. It may still say it.
Well, and they might have came up with that. I don't know. I never had to read those warning labels.
Yeah.
I had common sense not to eat stupid shit like that.
Well,
the worst my generation did was glue and mud.
Oh, well. There's a lot
And
to be
then
said there, too.
And then some of us became Marines and decided to eat the Crayolas. So,
Shit.
but there's that.
Wow. Well,
So,
tonight's podcast, we're covering some paranormal activity type stuff. I know I have a couple of stories, especially being in the house that I'm in now. And then Dusty has some stories he'd like to share with us as well. And I'm not sure if you do or not, but I'd like to hear something if you got it.
yeah.
So, sweet.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll let our special guest go ahead and have the honors. If you want to introduce him, and
go ahead, Dusty.
I don't know how special I am, but I'll be a guest. Special ed, maybe. Yeah, I used to work. I'll just hell with it. I'll just jump right in. used to work security at a psych ward, and it was converted from an old hospital, and an actual working hospital, had a ER, had a little 2-story, small. So I did security there because it was locked down, and I was in the lobby one night, but night owl, night shift. Sitting in the lobby, and I see a guy walking up the stairs to the second floor, which I personally had locked. And he's carrying a box, kind of in a delivery uniform type deal. And I, me being the jerk that I am, I'm going to let him walk up the stairs before he realizes the door's locked. And I'm just going to sit there and watch him just because that's how I am. But so he gets to the second story landing, turns around, looks me dead in the face, and walks through the door. Like through the door. Didn't open it. Just right through the
Oh
door.
shit!
After acknowledging me. That was the creepiest part, is he turned around and looked at me. Like acknowledged me and then walked through. So yeah, that was one of many in that hospital that of course, I mean, you can surmise that hospitals are hotbeds of that kind of stuff because there's a lot of death that goes on there, and sickness and agony and blah 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 blah. But I don't know. It just
Yeah.
that was one of the ones that stuck out to me. Like I said, it was a psych ward, and I took my dog up there with me one day because it was a locked psych ward. He could stay in the guard shack with me, and just couldn't go where the patients were. And went up onto the second floor on the elevator and locked the doors open, and a little sucker wouldn't get off the elevator. He just whimpered and
Really?
would not move. And of course, I had to make my rounds, and I made my rounds, and he was still in the elevator when I got back. So, I mean,
dogs are smart. They can see and hear what we can't.
oh yeah, animals
I
know.
mean,
They're
yeah.
Yeah. My dog tends to go off quite a bit here at the house for just random reasons.
Well, sometimes I think it's in their head, but I mean,
I don't know.
wow. So that's is that a again, is that a local facility here in the greater area?
no, it's uh center of the state, in the
Okay.
in in the state
Because
capital.
I was thinking that because there was a couple of places around here kind of like that back in the day that I used to deliver to, and I would deliver to them in the middle of the night medications, and there was a
Mhm.
couple up in the northeastern part of the state that just, man, you just pulled up and you got the creeps,
Yeah,
and you could always feel like somebody was watching you when you was walking through these dark hallways. And there was an old late 80s, early 90s movie. Of course, it was a B-rated movie. It was called Slaughter High. And that's what I felt like in some of these facilities. And it was just
yeah.
creepy. And yeah, it was just one of those things where I was just like, no, you guys are going to meet me outside and come get your packages. I'm done. So,
I don't cross the threshold.
right. Nowadays, I just don't have any shits to give and do what I need to do.
Well,
So,
as we get older,
Yeah, I've
but
never been
I
to
I
an
was
I've never been to
I
a
was mid
hospital setting.
20s when that happened. So that's been
Whoa.
20 some odd years ago.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm old.
So, yeah. Well, my story comes from about let me see. Take away the 6, carry the 2, add the
Oh God,
1.
he's trying to do math.
I am, I am. So
Overcome
mine,
us all.
give or take, was let me think, 30 years ago.
Jesus.
Well, Yeah, I prefer the term experienced. But
Expired.
anyways,
Well
not yet.
seasoned.
Not yet. Yes, yes.
Well seasoned.
So when I was a kid, my parents owned a house in a college town, and part of the reason of moving was unexplained occurrences happening, such as, well, back in my day, uh, diapers were put together with safety pins and cloths.
Yep.
So
Back in the 60s.
my blow me. Um, Mom and Dad used to fight over where the safety pins were. They had to come up missing. Mom would get after Dad, Dad would get after Mom, vice versa. It was revolving door fights over just random stuff, mainly like safety pins. Um, so there were some other occurrences that happened, and when they got ready to move, taking down pictures and whatnot, said missing safety pins fell out from behind the pictures.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so we get all of our stuff moved out. Um, Dad's at the house by himself late one night, finishing up some painting and cleaning up, and allegedly the kitchen light flickers, and he heard a voice say, "Get the hell out."
No kidding.
Damn.
So Dad drops wet white paintbrush, drops the wet paintbrush because he was trying to clean it up, and it had white paint on it. Drops it in the sink, hauls ass, doesn't look back. That was it. Passed the keys off to the realtor and said, "Sell it, send us a check." So
I
we'll
can't
fast
say as I
forward
blame him.
about 10 years. Right? Yeah, no. I'm not going to ask no questions. We'll fast forward about 10 years. My dad owned his own business, and we were in his work truck, me and my mom and my dad, and mom had a headache. It was middle of summer, and on dad's van, he had a fire extinguisher just to the left of him and a little step. As you got into the driver door, there was a little step. He kept a fire extinguisher there because of his business. And so mom had a headache. We were all kind of thirsty. So dad said, I'll pull into the store. We'll get something to drink. And he runs in, comes back out, opens the door, looks down at the fire extinguisher. And lo and behold, there's a wet paintbrush on that fire extinguisher.
Shut the hell up.
No.
Yeah. I never saw my dad freak out in all my life. And
No freaking way.
I didn't understand what was going on because I didn't know about the original part of the story. And yeah,
That is insane.
yeah, that was probably the most bizarre shit I've ever seen.
What was it? The paintbrush or
Man.
just a paintbrush?
Well, I mean, I wasn't there in the original, and Dad wasn't a painter; he was a mechanic.
Oh, okay.
So there was no reason for a paintbrush and one to be wet to begin with to be in the truck.
Right.
So just to open up the door out of nowhere and there's that wet, and I mean the paintbrush was wet.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't explain it. But it makes me wonder how many years. I mean, obviously, roughly 10 years that whatever it was followed us.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was the craziest stuff I'd ever seen.
Man, I've got some stories from the time that I moved to the town that I'm in till just a night or two ago that will just absolutely, if you ever came into my house, which you've been here,
Yeah.
it'll freak you out. But when I first moved to this town, me and my wife got married and we moved into a small little house on the far end of town. It was only 800 square feet. We were newly married. We have 3 kids, and she was pregnant with our 4th. So we're in this house, I'm at work, the kids are at school, my wife's at home, she's getting ready, she's making the baby room and getting everything situated and stuff like that. And I wasn't there for it, but she calls me in just a freak out panic. She's like, there is something or someone in this house. I said, what are you talking about? She's like, I was, putting stuff in the baby crib and I heard a growl in my ear. I'm like, a growl? What? Well, like, just, no. She's like, no, like a growl. And it scared the hell out of her. So I get home, and this is where it kind of piqued my interest because it was right next to a set of railroad tracks.
Right.
And before we even moved into this house, she had a dream that the kids were out on the railroad tracks playing on the railroad tracks. And then a month later, we find this house and we just happen to move into it. So I did a little bit of digging, and there was actually a child that was killed on those railroad tracks.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the only reason I say that is because we used to have a lot of house parties and stuff. We were a lot younger, and we were taking pictures. And I took a picture from the hallway into the living room, and there was this little blonde kid standing in front of my doorway. The problem with that is at the time, the little blonde girl that I have was asleep in her bedroom. And this one just happened to be transparent. You see straight through her.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was a boy or if it was a girl. I don't know what it was, but it was absolutely terrifying.
That's in the
Shortly
house you're in
after
now?
that, do what?
That's in the house you're in now?
No, that was the first house we lived in.
Oh, okay.
Shortly after that, some wonky things started happening. Appliances were not operating correctly. We,
What in the heck is going on here? Sorry about that.
boots and pants and boots and pants.
Techno
But
ghost.
shortly after that, right? Shortly after
Right.
that little incident, some wonky things started happening. Appliances stopped working, water pipes would burst, just odd and end things that, you could attribute to just natural things happening. So we had a main pipe burst in that house, and we actually had to move out of that house. Well, we got lucky and found this really big house, especially since we were expanding as a family on the other side of town, and the rent was super cheap. It was like a 5-bedroom house for $750 a month. Shoot, we're in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who wouldn't be, right? From the time we moved into that house, man, you'd have to go down the hallway to the back room, and I hated going to that back room. Every time I walked down the hallway, the hair on my arms would stand up, and I just got this feeling of dread. We were there in that house for 8 years, I think is what it was, and didn't really notice it at the time, but over a period of time, everybody just started getting more aggressive towards each other. Can't really contribute it to anything that I can think of, but I can tell you that the kids got more violent towards each other. Me and my wife fought a lot more. Me and the kids fought a lot more. Everybody was just at each other's throats. And one day, we're all sitting in the living room, and me and the wife are having a spat or whatever you want to call it. And on my wall behind my TV, behind the entertainment center, I had a DVD rack. Now, keep in mind that this thing had an upward degree slope, so the DVDs wouldn't fall off of it. Everything was pinned in from side to side, so they weren't moving. You literally had to go pluck them off. So we're sitting there and we're having this little spat and this little argument. And I'll be damned if these DVDs don't start flying off the shelf. Not one at a time. We're talking 3, 4, 5 at a time, just flying straight across the room at us. About that time, we start freaking out. We're like, what the hell is that? And then my wife's like, that's got to be an earthquake. I'm like, to throw them across the room? I don't think so. You know, and we had chicken nuggets from McDonald's sitting on the coffee table, you know, because we were all kind of just sitting down, eating, munching, watching TV. And I'll be damned if this box of chicken nuggets didn't levitate off the damn coffee table and just sit there about 1.5 feet, 2 feet off the coffee table and just dump over. Terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It kind of solidified why I never went in that back room.
Well, I mean, I'd be worried about the chicken nuggets.
I was pissed
Well,
off
yeah.
about the chicken nuggets. I was creeped out about the DVDs, and I was terrified of the back room. So you tell me.
Well,
So
whatever it was looking out for your health. It didn't want you eating those.
all that
Right?
cholesterol and that human meat.
Yeah, all that fake chicken.
Yeah. Sorry, rib meat.
Yeah, rib meat. If
So,
you want to call it that.
part of my job is well, I can't say part, but all, is traveling Native American lands.
Right.
And there's some creepy areas.
Oh,
And
yeah,
there's been some stuff where 3 o'clock in the morning, you're walking up to something and you hear an owl. That will freak you the hell out. There was one night I pulled up to a place and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to walk through here and just walk it. It's a little, it's a little lot. And it was a cemetery. And I thought, I'm just going to get out and walk it, make sure there's no vandalism, that kind of thing.
Nope.
Not a big deal. So
Nope.
I pulled my car up outside the gate on the main road. I get out of the car. I start walking up to the gate and I heard the owl. And I said, nope.
Nope.
I said, who? I said, not me. Got back in the car and I'm out. I was done. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different stories and beliefs about owls.
Yep.
And the one thing that I do know is if an owl yells at you, that's not good. And
What if you hit an owl with your truck?
you shut your mouth. I've done that before in the car.
Me too.
I know. Mm-mm.
It was a big bird.
Yeah.
I keep going and praying for the best.
Yeah, I didn't turn around. Screw that.
Wish them the best and keep going.
Because all I'm,
Yeah.
and the weird thing is every night for the longest time, I would take the same route home. And it didn't matter if it was 1 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. Every time I passed this one certain spot headed north, every night, same time, and it was like hitting replay on a recorded video. The same owl, the same direction, the same blur, every night, just right across the windshield of my car. Never hit it, but don't think that didn't. Don't make that think a turd didn't touch cotton, because it did. I mean,
Oh my God.
3 and 4 nights a week, the same location, big white blur, and I was like, nope.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, so before I tell the story of this house that I'm currently in, I do want to mention that a buddy of mine texted me the other day, and I'm not going to mention his name because I didn't clear it through him. But oh boy told me that, and you're going to get a kick out of this. He lived in a town 10 minutes, 15 minutes from me, and he used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning to go to work. Told me that he had no idea what it was until he asked a Native American coworker about what he was seeing. And it turns out that every morning that he would get up, in his neighbor's yard across the street from his house was a Wendigo.
I say what?
A Wendigo.
Okay, never heard that term.
Skinwalker.
It's
Okay,
type of
shapeshifter.
type of skinwalker. It has deer
Okay,
antlers, and they're not good.
yeah,
But I was asking him about it. I was like, man, did it ever cross the street, come over and try and get you? He's like, no, it never left their yard. But it was always interested in me when I left my house, but it was always in their yard.
nope.
He's like, I asked the Native American coworker, and he's like, man, whatever you do, stay the hell away from your neighbors because they're into some bad juju.
Right.
And he's like,
Yeah.
man, never in my life have I been so terrified when I found out what exactly it was.
Yeah.
He's like, at first I thought it was a figment of my imagination, but then he was able to give great detail because it was only like 50 feet away.
Right.
Wow.
And I was like, no, sir, man, I'll deal with what I got in my house over that.
Well, no, because that's across the street.
Yeah, well,
I can.
no,
And
just no.
If he's not leaving to come over here, you stay on your side of the street. I'll stay on mine.
I asked him. I told him, I was like, man, I'd rather deal with what I got going on here. He's like, that's a huge no from me.
Yeah, no. I don't want it in my house.
No, not that. Hell no.
Well,
But,
any of it.
Well, I'm intrigued by the paranormal. So my wife,
okay.
however, is absolutely not.
So here's my thing. As a Christian, I pray for the protection, and there's other, whatever you want to call it, out there. And I don't mess in that. I don't. If I see it, I stay clear of it. If I experience it, I do my best to stay clear of it.
Well, that would be the inner part of me that's intrigued.
Right. I mean, to me, to experience something, I'm like, because I like unexplained.
Yeah.
I can't see how something's going on, and let's say my TV over here just lifts up, then I'm going to be like, oh shit. It'd be like, it would be like seeing a big ass spider, and there's going to be a mushroom cloud coming from my side of the state. Because this house is gone.
Got it.
And, no, I don't, I'm not going to mess around with that.
I'm very intrigued by this stuff, but there's one thing that I absolutely will never, ever, ever do, and that is touch a Ouija board.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I ain't messing
Now,
with them things.
and so I do have another, so this was back when I was a kid. I was, oh crap, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. And I'll never forget this. I have this image vivid in my mind like it happened yesterday. And it was bedtime. Mom and Dad said it's time to go to bed, blah 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 blah. And I remember looking out my window, and I want to say it was a cloudy night and a big bright full moon. And the moon was lighting up the cloud. Well, it was behind the cloud a little bit, but it was like a silhouette watching through a window. I could see two people up in the clouds moving around doing something. I mean, I'm talking full figured people, the silhouettes.
In the clouds?
Yes, in the clouds.
I've seen those.
And I was like, what? And it tripped me out as a kid.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those
But
as
I
an
was
adult.
like, and then of course, I told my mom about it, and I was kind of hesitant, thinking she would think that I was batshit crazy or whatever. But she would, just explain to me that it's just angels up in the clouds. And that, brought peace to me, which made sense.
Yeah.
But, man, it was pretty vivid.
Shit, I
Pretty
bet.
vivid.
We were driving down the road and saw one actually walking across the sky, which was really neat. We tried to get it on camera, but it always came in fuzzy.
Right.
Couldn't actually get an actual picture of it because every time you'd take a picture, it fuzz out.
Because
So
it didn't want you to take its picture.
That's
right.
what we deduced it to.
So, do you guys remember? There used to be a guy. He did a radio show. His name was Art Bell. I probably talked to him, but I never met him. Talked about him a time or two on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, at the time of 9/11, he posted all these pictures of the smoke and whatnot coming out of the buildings on his website, and you would see pictures of the devil and devil's face and things like that.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I
kinds of
remember a
other
bunch of
stuff.
that stuff, yeah.
Right. So, here about 15, 20 years ago, uh, I was at home with wife, kids. We had severe storms come through. Big old wall cloud was moving in front of my yard. We had a tornado warning, all that good stuff. You know, my cup of tea. And didn't have to burn no gas to chase this one. So I got a camera out and I took a picture of it. When I developed the picture, it was nothing of what I had taken the picture of. One side you see the most evil face. The other side of this wall cloud you see um, like the face of Jesus. And there was a hand, and I got to find this picture and show it to you. It's the creepiest picture you will ever see.
Yeah, send it to me. Shoot, we'll put it
But
on here.
I couldn't explain it.
Yeah,
And that was
I'd
the
be
weirdest
interested in
thing I'd
seeing
ever
that too.
seen. Yeah. So if I can find it, because we didn't have digital phones and pictures back
Right.
then. This was,
It'd be a still shot.
well, I mean, yeah, but I'd still have to take it to the 1 hour photo and get it developed. And we had film back then.
Oh, God.
We didn't have the fancy hoopla you got today.
Give me a Polaroid. I'd take a
Right?
Polaroid over all this extra shit we got on our phones nowadays anyway.
I mean, I'd take 1 hour photo again.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the burnouts working at 1 hour photo. Got your pictures, bro.
Right? I could only imagine some of the things, the stories from 1 hour
Stuff
photo.
they've
Oh
seen,
my
yeah.
gosh. You cut out
And
really bad right there. Oh, his picture froze up.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
What'd you say?
I said I can imagine the stuff they've seen in the
Oh,
1
man.
Oh,
hour
yeah.
photos.
Maybe
Back
we
when
need to
rules didn't apply.
find somebody that used to work in one of those.
Dude, you know it's going to be like a hippie burnout.
Well, whatever.
Give me Tommy Chong on here from that 70s show.
No, absolutely.
Yes. Oh,
Dave's not
gosh.
here, man.
God. All right. So, anyway, in this house that I'm in now, man, we've been here coming up on 8 years now, too. And my animals act weird on occasion. You know, there are smells. Like just a week or two ago, my wife smelled her grandma.
What?
The perfume of her grandma, which is odd because we're nowhere near where her grandma died.
I got you.
And I've smelled cigar smoke. I don't smoke cigars.
Yeah.
Can't stand the smell of them. I've actually got a video on my phone. My cats were sleeping on the couch, and something was legitimately picking up my cat's tail and playing with it. Was swinging it around and moving it. I've got some water bottles. on my coffee table that were moving, and there was no fan, no AC, because it was like right at that perfect time when it was temperature wise outside. So the windows weren't even open. It was just nice and cool in my house. And you can see this water bottle. If it was the fan or an air conditioner, the water bottle would sway back and forth, right, with the wind blowing.
Mm.
Well, these water bottles would tip one way and stop. And then another water bottle would move the other way and then back and stop. And then the one that originally moved would move and stop.
Now, do these bottles have water in them?
No, they're empty.
Okay.
One of them had
So,
water in it.
so I wonder if whatever it is isn't attached to your houses, it's attached to you or your wife.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've come to that same conclusion myself, and I want to say that you're right. I will say that you're right, because there's either something attached to me or attached to my wife. And
Yeah.
Or something that you have, family heirloom or something like that.
well, she does a lot of resale, so we have a lot of people's stuff coming in and out of our house, which we've had a long discussion about. I don't want it in my house. It needs to go and stay in the garage or go to a storage facility. But that's not even the creepy part. The creepy part is in the middle of the daytime with the doors closed and the lights are off in the doorway. This bright light, like someone's shining a 20 million lumen flashlight, starts at my doorway in the front and walks through my living room out the back door.
Mm.
Like blinding white light, just walks casually through my living room, through my kitchen, and out my back door.
Now, the white light does?
Yes.
Like a beam of light?
It was
Or like a
it was
giant
like
orb or something.
it was like somebody took a giant spotlight and was shining it through my living room.
Okay, so the light's not walking through; it's just shining through.
Yeah, it just kind of
Okay.
floated through.
Okay.
I said walking, I meant floating. But
Yeah.
that being
That's
said, there's also been dark shadows that are dodgy and seen out of the corner of your eye if you're sitting in my
Mm-mm.
living room.
Nope. I saw a ghost. Nope.
Which, is also why, and I know people that are listening to this can't see it because we don't do videos, but there's a reason why my camera is so close to me and it only shoots right behind me. It doesn't shoot in the doorway. Because I've left my camera running and I've left my microphone running. And there have been things seen.
Huh.
But
They ain't vaping, are they?
no.
Okay, well, we
Yeah,
don't need to
they'll
get you kicked off of TikTok.
Yeah, they'll get
Yeah.
canceled on TikTok for that.
I've been banned off of TikTok from my lives 4 times for that shit. TikTok, get real. I
Yeah.
could see if it was smoking out of a crack pipe or something, but I'm hitting a vape. Leave me alone. But
Maybe if you were half naked like all them chicks on there.
God, dude, if I was showing my brown eye, I might actually get views on TikTok.
All you gotta do is show a little cleavage. Hell no. Hell no.
But my kids have told me several times that they've seen in their rooms a tall, dark figure wearing a tall black hat. And, I didn't believe them for the longest time.
Why do I think of poltergeist when you say that?
Well, that's what I thought too. I thought they had just seen poltergeist and I thought they were full of shit.
Right.
Until I saw that it was actually a real thing. People actually do see this and they described it to a T what this thing is.
Man, you might need the pastor to come over to your house, pray
Dude,
over it. And...
I asked the pastor to come over to my house and bless the house.
What do you say?
He told me that I was crazy, and then a week later told my wife that I was the reason that everything was happening here.
You need a new pastor.
It sounds
he's
like you
not my
need a new
pastor.
pastor.
He's
Yeah.
not my pastor. He's the neighbor.
No, well then, I mean,
He
here's
is a
my
pastor.
thing.
But
No, he's. I hate to say it, he's gonna have that false teachings.
I don't know. I know he's got a lot going on, and maybe it was just the wrong time to ask. But I think the way he looked at me looked like I was just an absolute bozo.
You know, I might have to get you in touch with my pastor because he would definitely help you out.
I have done a few things around my house to prevent things from coming in,
Right.
and
Well, you need a mount.
oh, I know,
Yeah.
and being that I can't prove it, but we can't prove it, but we can. We have Native American blood in us, and I plan on doing smudging.
I got Native American blood in me too, bud. And
I know.
that's like my pastor. I would just call him up and be like, "Hey, 'cause he does. What's he call it? He casts out demons out of people.
Oh,
So he's very good, and I would trust him to be able to bless your house and cast out anything that may be um, in your life.
well, that might actually be a good thing, especially for my
Yeah,
wife. They
right.
don't bother me so much. You know, it doesn't bother
Nope.
me at all. I get my hair standing up on the back of my neck and on my arms, but they don't bother me.
What if you have one in you and don't know it?
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
do,
You
this
know.
son of a bitch needs to make me thinner.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
that's. I
saying.
don't think that's how that works.
I'm just saying. I don't know if that's how it works, but damn it.
Maybe if you got rid of him, you would.
Maybe. Shit, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't hurt so much.
I mean, you might have the fat one in you.
He's got the fat demon.
Yeah, I mean,
What's that fat ghost off of Casper the movie?
oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that'd be your luck. Wow. Oh, yeah, right.
But yeah, now that
you
I've
know,
sounded like a complete wackadoo.
one
That's
of the
all right.
guys we work with was telling me he was playing his guitar at his house in his music room, and he quit playing, and a little girl's voice came over his amp, and said, "Don't play that in my room anymore."
What?
Yeah,
Oh, hell no.
Telling
yeah,
me how to live my life,
I do what I want.
right?
yeah. I think
No,
That's
hell no.
crazy.
he said he was playing like Pantera or something, but
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
little girl's voice comes over the amplifier when he quits, and he's like, "Don't play that in my room anymore." Yeah, he was just telling me about that Friday.
Oh no, really?
Wow,
Yeah,
Oh
that's crazy.
man, I fear the day that something comes through this microphone and I hear it in these headphones.
I
If
mean
that happens, you're gonna see me get up and exit the freaking exit stage left real quick.
they say that stuff like keys up on electronics and stuff. I
Ah,
mean,
man, I've got
it
enough of them running in here. Jesus,
Right? Well, you would hear it in the headphones. If there was, well,
you all would hear it,
I I don't know how well your mic would pick it up.
brother. My mic picks up everything in this house. You can be in my bedroom, which
Well,
is on the other side of the house, and hear it clear as day.
think of it like this: the microphone is kind of like dog's ears. If you blow a dog whistle, we're not going to hear it with the dog will.
Yeah.
If your microphone is set right, then it will pick up stuff like that you can't hear.
What I need to do is break out the other microphones because those literally pick up everything.
Now, if your mics, it can pick up everything in your living room, a TV, somebody farting, sneezing, coughing, whatever. But it doesn't mean it's going to pick up something you can't see or hear.
True.
but another high-powered microphone might.
Yeah.
So,
Well, those other two I got, that'd be interesting to see.
I mean, yeah. And it's usually the ones like that that'll pick it up.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to
I
tempt
would
fate,
think.
though.
I don't know. I've never been a Ghostbuster, so to speak.
Not 100% sure that I want to tempt fate
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no.
Some things are just better left unknown.
Yeah.
And left alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
But
I'm not one to go dilly-dallying around trying to fuck with these things' lives or past life or whatever, but
no.
you got something to say, I'll be more than willing to listen. As long as
Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. And
as long as it's not, I'm here to possess your body, we're good.
I don't think they announce themselves.
Boy,
Kinda like
somebody
that.
should put a bell on these things.
I have a bell around their neck.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you trying to do a horizontal mambo with the old lady in the end of the night and be like, hey, I'm here to enter your body. No, that's not how this works.
Knock, 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 let me in.
Yeah. And I dang sure don't think they're going to give you a kiss on the neck or take you to dinner.
Hey, man, as long as they rub my earlobe, we're good.
Oh, good Lord. Jesus. Wow.
This is what you two get for keeping me up this late.
Delusions?
Yes. Of a clearly crazy man.
Well, that's it. That's it. So,
Yeah.
Rub my earlobe and tell me it's going to be okay.
you might need to go to bed. I know I'm about due to go to bed. My day off, and I'm wore out. I've been up since 6,
Oh,
maybe 5, and I didn't get no nap today, so I don't want to hear it.
I didn't either.
I always got to get a nap or two in.
I tried. It didn't happen.
Yeah,
Get the pawpaw nap.
you dang right. Absolutely. I love my pop-on naps.
I tried to take a pawpaw nap and my grandbaby came over.
Well, that's the best time.
I was hoping when I was tickling him and he was kicking me in the head, I was going to fall asleep then, but no. I had him upside down. I was tickling his belly and he started kicking his legs and he was nailing me in the head.
Sometimes if I fall asleep with one of the grands, they fall asleep with me.
Man, I can't get him to sit still long enough to do that.
Yeah, some of them are harder than others.
Little ADHD baby.
Right. Well, you got anything planned for next week? I think I've got an idea. I think I'm going to break out because I had mentioned the Challenger,
Oh, yeah.
and I think I might save that for January though, since that would be the anniversary.
Was
Yep,
that in January?
it was January of
January
86.
88.
No, it was 85 or 86.
No.
Yeah,
Was it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
88.
Yeah, it wasn't 88.
I was in first grade the first time in art class when it happened.
The first time, you mean when the fake explosion happened?
Oh, I'm talking about the
I,
first
I
time in
was
first grade.
Oh, first day of first grade.
Yeah.
I stayed home from school that day so I could watch it on TV.
See,
Well,
he
they
knew
Latchkey.
he knew it was going to happen. See?
they broadcasted it in our art class.
Oh wow.
Yep, we
Yeah,
watched it
I
live.
I played sick that day so I could watch it on TV when I was home by myself. I was in grade school. So
Yeah,
Jesus, I feel young
yeah.
compared to you guys. I was just
Yeah.
barely a year old.
Well, yeah, I remember just like it was yesterday. Kind of like the 9/11 and the Oklahoma City bombing.
yeah,
Dude,
I was.
speaking of the OKC bombing, sorry, go ahead, Dusty.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was actually working in Oklahoma City when that happened.
No shit.
I was probably 4 or 5 miles from the blast site.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, we thought a semi. I was working in a wood shop, and we thought a semi had hit our building. I mean,
Holy
it
shit.
it rocked the building, and went outside, and then started getting papers and debris and stuff raining down in our parking lot.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it
Dang.
was pretty rough.
Yeah,
So
my brother lived in Shawnee, and he said it. I mean, he could feel it all the way to Shawnee.
interesting thing that I've come up with. Oh, not me personally, but I've discovered that Timothy McVeigh looks an awful lot like the FBI agent that is talking about the Oklahoma City bombing in the interviews.
What?
Oh yeah, sounds just like him too.
I'll have to look into that
I'll have to find the video. I'll send it to
because I
you.
don't
But
think.
I mean, he looked an awful lot like him. But I
I
also
don't
have a
know.
buddy that was a cellmate, so
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, screwing with those 3-letter agencies is probably scarier than screwing with the paranormal.
oh, I'd rather screw with the paranormal. Are you kidding me? At least those fuckers can't make me disappear.
well, I mean,
They ain't gonna make me disappear. They may cause me to do some shit, but they ain't gonna make me just up and disappear.
one day
They're
you'll
not gonna hurt you, but
disappear,
they might make you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
right?
Well, so
Yeah.
are the 3-letter agencies, I guess, but
Well, allegedly.
allegedly.
Why don't you go ask Epstein about that?
Oh man, him and his toilet paper news.
Yeah.
I can't wait for those files to get released.
Well, I'm more interested about JFK than I am anything that Diddy or Epstein had to do with. I don't care.
You know, there's a possibility. I say there's a possibility that they're going to release the files that they have on Bigfoot too.
Now that would be interesting.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'd like to
I
check that out.
really, I
Yeah.
really thought Biden was going to expose everything about Area 51.
You mean oh Jesus.
He almost did.
He almost exposed himself
Yeah.
on several occasions. I mean, hell, he shit his pants live on TV in front of God and everybody.
Well,
I mean, that's more disposed and not exposed.
I
Or
wouldn't. I half expected him to just drop trowel right there and dump it out.
that would not surprise me.
shake it out of his pant leg.
Shit.
Absolutely. Walk it off.
God.
It'll be all right. Keep going.
Yeah,
I mean, all reality, it might have made for a soft landing when he fell down the steps.
but caused him to slip on a banana peel.
Yeah.
Or when he
I mean,
fell on his bike.
Oh
I
my
mean, he could have slipped on shit for all you know.
God. Sitting on his bike seat and things got a little squishy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear God.
So, for those of you listening, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, Fighting Duality Podcast. Send us some comments, questions, concerns, anything at fightingduality@gmail.com. What am I missing? Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify. We're now on Patreon, TikTok, Twitch. What the hell is the other one? Give me just a second here. I have to look it up. I can't remember. Discord.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're on quite a bit of stuff. And I don't know if you said Instagram, but we're on Instagram too.
And Facebook.
Yeah, and Facebook. We have a Facebook group.
Yeah.
So just look us up, hit us up, drop a
Yep.
comment, comment, subscribe.
Tell your friends, family, cousins, uncles, dunkles, and brothers, sister, mama, whatever. Tell them all.
For God's sake, share it, like it. We need the subscribers.
Right? Yes. Tell everybody, and yeah.
I was gonna say, Dusty, you got anything else you want to add?
I had a good time. It was fun.
Well, good. We're
Appreciate you.
glad you came on, and then hopefully we can have you again. And
Oh yeah,
it's usually
anytime.
pretty fun. We enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a getaway for us. Definitely getting away from the lives that we have.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a act of Congress to come together and be able to do one of these shows like tonight. I just got home and had to put away some stuff, and then time to do a show.
Yeah.
So,
And then I get to spend the next few hours editing and doing a few other things and adding some pictures. And so
yeah.
if you're hearing this was probably recorded early in the morning, and you're probably seeing it mid-morning, early afternoon on the next day. So
Yeah. Probably so.
But it was a good time.
yeah, well, I appreciate
Yeah.
you being here.
Yeah, it was good. Welcome
Yeah.
back anytime, and maybe next time we'll bring you in and let you commentate on something else we're talking about.
All right. Yeah. I like to talk. So and,
So do we.
and if nothing else, I can come up with a smart ass comment for something. So
There you
Well,
go.
there you go.
All
All
right,
right.
guys. Well, I'm gonna hit this intro here we got, and we'll see you guys later.
All right.
Good morning. Drink your coffee.
Welcome to our new podcast, Fighting Duality. Fighting Duality.
Step out of the darkness into the light.
I'm talking about the dog.
I know the world is round.
Squirrel brain, and we